In our last installment of Asphalt Odyssey, we travel from our home in Virginia Beach to the Mississippi River. In this installment, we continue heading west. I question my own sanity, encounter flash floods, tornadoes, 2 Route 66 museums, an eclectic restaurant on Old 66 just east of the Texas line, where we had a great hamburger before venturing into Texas. Shooting this in the bathroom of the hotel I'm staying at, just because it's the only place there's any lighting that's remotely decent. I guess they can't afford light bulbs. Staying at the Days Inn in West Memphis, Arkansas. Originally I planned to stay here 2 nights. Only made a reservation for 1 night. I'm glad I did. The vibe of the hotel is all wrong. It's just too industrial. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Very industrial. When I walked into the lobby, you can see the air conditioning ductwork fully exposed in the lobby area and plumbing in the walls, and just kind of, well, it's also the most expensive hotel I've stayed at so far. So I think we're gonna press on inland tomorrow, since we're already a good 24 hours ahead of schedule, and tomorrow is scheduled to be a rest day, but I'm not gonna rest here. Okay. Show you what's on the menu tonight. The celebratory dinner for being across the Mississippi. We're going to have spicy sausage pasta. It's backwards, I know, because I'm in a mirror. Going to have, this is 2 portions. I'm going to have half of this. Thunder. And as an appetizer, going to have some olives, some cheese, and some crackers, and some iced tea. Homemade iced tea, just made it. But while my dinner is preparing, I think I'm going to jump in the shower. Y'all can't watch. You don't want to see that. Well, a few days into the trip now, and I've already got a list of some things I would like to see done better for traveling in the Spyder. Number 1, I love my Garmin. It's very handy. So I think what I would like to figure out if I can get is a device that fits here, that is a GPS, overlays with weather radar, and has a satellite radio. I don't know if such a product exists. If you happen to know of one, let me know. I'd appreciate that. Stopped at this little rest area here along I-40. Looks like they had some weather come through overnight. The power's out. It's a good thing I don't need anything from the vending machines. You know, what do you do when you're ahead of schedule? I'd rather be ahead of schedule than behind schedule. Shooting for Fort Smith, Arkansas this evening. And looks like we'll be there about noon, which is way too early to check in. If I get there early, maybe they'll let me check in early. Not too bad. Well, I originally thought that the stretch of interstate between Memphis and Oklahoma would be kind of boring. Just another green tunnel with trees on both sides and just going straight ahead. But it's really quite open, and they're really kind of spectacular. It's just farms that go on forever. Quite a relaxing ride, even though I didn't sleep very well last night. I guess I slept enough. It's about 80 degrees, but it's high altitude overcast. Makes for a comfortable ride. This is an area that's flooded recently, and I think it's close to flooding again. Can't see it on the other side of the Jersey wall, but the water level's quite high. Look at these submerged trees. Off to the right, too. Huh. A lot of water through here. Wouldn't take much to submerge this road. That put a damper on things. Well, guys, we're here in Van Buren, Arkansas, which is on the outskirts of Fort Smith. Oklahoma is about 4 miles that way, and that's where we're heading to tomorrow. Today was a rest day. It was a well-deserved rest day. Didn't know I needed it as bad until I needed it. Yesterday was a good ride. We've had a good ride all so far in the trip. Yesterday about noon, I noticed that there was a pain in the back between my shoulder blade and my spine. Felt like somebody was sticking me with a ice pick. I guess it's from the hours of doing this. My arms are still sore for doing that. That's the only problem I had. So normally I visit my local massage therapist once a month, but that normally is done in the first week of the month. I'm out of town, so did some research and found that there was a massage therapist literally 0.6 of a mile from where I'm staying here at the Best Western. Went over there. So I went over there, and Candace from Radiant Wellness took care of me, and she spent the entire time working on my back and my arms. And I'm here to tell you, it was profound. You know, when you have a good massage therapist, when she finds the spot that is the sensitive one, and she goes, "Is this it?" And I'm going, "Oh, that's it." And then she goes, "It's a big bump. It's just a big muscle knot." So she worked on it probably for a good 30 minutes. I left there. It's kind of skipping. It felt so good. Went over and grabbed some lunch and came on back to the room. Got the laptop set up here, just doing some video, not really processing as much as just cataloging all the video, making sure my discs are clear and ready to use for the next couple of days, and going to charge up the batteries and going to hit it hard tomorrow. We want to head out and see if we can make it to Oklahoma City. I'd like to get through Oklahoma City because I've got a reservation at another Best Western just on the other side of Oak City at the El Reno Best Western. So that's our goal for tomorrow. It's only about 214 miles. Piece of cake compared to my been doing between 250 to 350 for the past couple of days. So far, nothing bad to say about the trip. It's been really, really good. Spyder, they let me actually park the Spyder under the overhang at the entrance. So there's lots of bright light shining on it, and I think I am probably the only person in the hotel right now. I had to go down to the front desk to take care of something, and there was nobody there. I had to wait for a long time. Only a member of the housekeeping staff came and helped me out. My personal opinion that when you're 60 years of age and traveling by motorcycle, take a rest day about every 4 days. It's worth it. Today, although I'd like to say I've been resting, but it's coming up on 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've been pretty much working. Random massage really wasn't work, but organizing things, keeping up with emails, checking in with family, that sort of thing. So every 4 days is going to be a programmed rest day, if not sooner. So the journey continues.
While finishing up the last video segment, I got an emergency notification on my cell phone of an imminent flash flood in my area. Looking out the window, I can see torrential rains had started. The drainage system was overflowing and the parking lot was filling up, threatening to inundate the Spyder. Fortunately, as soon as it started, it was over and the water drained away.
So we're getting ready to get our day started here in Van Buren, Arkansas, getting dressed. Went down, had breakfast, took my phone with me. Everything was normal. Came up here and started getting dressed, put on my motorcycle pants, and I had put my my cell phone clip on the side of the motorcycle pants. When I got dressed, where'd it go? I have searched this room upside down, inside out, and sideways for the last 20 minutes, knowing it had to be here because I saw it as I was putting the pants on, and so I know it was there. So I'm going, this defies logic, but I found it. Look where it's at. Look in the mirror. It got hung on the suspenders, and it's been behind me the entire time. No, I fear I'm going senile. So I was just standing here talking with a fellow at the gas station, and he pointed out that the weather here has been severe. Right across the street, a tornado came to that hotel just 2 days ago. Did a lot of damage. There's more debris piled up right over here. Hope it wasn't my hotel. Even though Route 66 was decommissioned by the federal government in the early 80s, many states have taken it upon themselves to rename the same roadway historic Route 66 to keep the history alive. Just west of Oklahoma City are two Route 66 museums. The first one is the Oklahoma Route 66 Museum, and a few miles down the road is the National Route 66 Museum. One of the curious things I noticed on Route 66 was that Route 66 is actually a destination for foreign travelers. I ran into a couple who came over from Portugal just to drive Route 66 from Chicago to LA. Then I encountered a young man on a Harley Davidson who was from Belgium and had rented a Harley Davidson to ride it from Chicago to LA. It was strange to see the museums almost empty of people on a beautiful, mild spring day. One of my targeted destinations that I hoped was still open was the watering hole on old Route 66 just east of the Texas state line. It was open. I found that I was the only customer in the restaurant, but of course the restaurant only had 6 tables. Very small, but very eclectic. They brand each burger with the Route 66 logo. Classic. Then I mounted the Spyder and drove the approximately 300 yards to the Texas state line, set up the tripod for a photo op.
If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.
If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Feel free to leave a comment below.